Welcome to another video. Today, it's not going to be a huge news brief or anything significant that I'm going to get too deep into, but I wanted to talk about a story that I came across. This story was reported on, but I think it was reported on a lot less because it was, a random person and an unfortunate soul, another unfortunate soul of the death shot that they're giving people. So I'm going to read the article for you. And this article I'm going to be reading is from People's Magazine. But the story is about a 16-year-old teen dies suddenly at a flag football game. 16 years old, guys. 16 years old. I know that at 16 years old, I didn't have any worries in the world about keeling over and dying from exerting too much energy into any particular activity I was doing. And now we have, there's obviously a lot more deaths than this. I'm going to play a clip from a man that I watch on BitChute a lot. His name is Steve Eyes, and his channel is Eyes is Watching. Subscribe to his channel and check him out. I don't think he has any YouTube stuff. I'm not entirely sure, but he is on BitChute and has quite a big following, and he comes out with weekly podcasts, and man, do they have some information. So the first thing I'm going to do is allow that clip to play that is from his video and put it in here, and you can check out what he's talking about, and then I'll come back and talk about this story.
Here you go, guys. Now, I am not going to go through all of this. This is going to take hours. But as you guys can see, they have a Airtable list. Thousands of people. Sudden unexpected death, 2022, pro athlete, 29 years old, 1932, 28 years old. Look at these guys' ages here. Heart issues, death, heart attack, cardiac arrest, death, hospitalized, breathing difficulties. Look at all the deaths here. And look at the ages of these people. What more needs to be said? You're going to tell me all of this is normal? These are the most healthy people on planet Earth, guys. Pro athletes. And look at their ages. They're in their prime. Dropping dead. Algeria mourns Sofiane Lokar, dead at 30. Algerian star collapses on pitch after suffering heart attack during game. Just endless stories here. It never ends, guys. Never ends. Look at these young people dropping. I can keep going here. 19, sudden unexpected death, Belgium. Young coach died suddenly Wednesday morning. Look at all of these people. It really speaks for itself. Now, this one especially, guys. Luciano Di Lorenzo, a student in Italy, 15 years old. Luciano dies at 15 while riding a bike with his father. Totally normal, right, guys? All of these other ones collapsing here. Pro elite, high-performing athletes. Athletic level, 30, 28, 26. Just dropping. Never before seen in history. To this extent, these cases are just mind-boggling. Only one connection here. So Damar Hamlin dropping. This carries on, guys. It just carries on. Look, I'm not gonna go through all this. This is insane. This is on airtable.com for people out there that want to go through it. What kind of brain dead cyborg moron will disagree with this? How can they say, oh, yeah, this is all normal? 17-year-olds dropping dead. Totally normal here.
All right. Some pretty shocking stuff. Some pretty crazy evidence, and the fact that they have a whole website set up for this to show the vast amounts of young people that are dying suddenly from cardiac issues. And these aren't just people sitting on the couch drinking soda, watching soap operas or Netflix or whatever. These are athletes. These are highly well-trained athletes dying suddenly from cardiac issues, from strokes, from a number of different things, mainly cardiac issues, because we know that this death shot, it often will cause a lot of issues with your cardiovascular system and with your heart. So that's what we're dealing with here, guys. We're dealing with a poison injection that will explode your heart. I mean, the examples of course, Damar Hamlin was like the biggest story that people have because he was a pro athlete. But we have stories like this where, like, unfortunate souls, 16-year-olds do die from this kind of thing. And this is no doubt from what they're pushing on these children and adolescents. Let me go ahead and read this article for you. The article starts out with a headline that says, Las Vegas teen flag football star collapses and dies playing the game she loves. Ashari Hughes loved music, dancing, but the 16-year-old called football the real love of her life. A high school student in Las Vegas died while playing flag football on Thursday night. The student, who was later identified by the Clark County Coroner's Office as 16-year-old Ashari Hughes, was in the middle of a game when she started experiencing chest problems, a family member told KWU-TV. She had gone to the sidelines to rest when she collapsed. Ian Salzman, the principal of Desert Oasis High School, where Hughes attended, said in an email to the parents obtained by KLAS-TV that staff immediately began providing medical aid and continued until paramedics arrived, but she did not survive. The cause and manner of her death have not yet been released by the Clark County Coroner's Office. However, Hughes had ongoing heart problems and she was seeing a cardiologist, a family member told KVVU-TV. They said that she had been previously cleared by her doctor to play sports, but her parents had been considering pulling her out to reevaluate her condition. Her family wrote on a GoFundMe page that they were thankful Hughes got to play the game she loved, and she will be missed by all of us. She was passionate, loving, and determined, the family wrote. She loved music, dancing, and being around all the people she loved. She called football the real love of her life. She loved hard and was loved by many. Hold the number 7 up high for her, they added. It was her first football number, and she always wanted to represent it well. Clark County School District Superintendent Dr. Jesus F. Hara also issued a statement that said, the loss of the young life deeply saddens us, and our thoughts are with the students, friends, family, and loved ones. Salzman encouraged parents in his email to monitor the children if they are experiencing any grief related to Hughes' death, and recommended that parents turn to services provided by the CCSD's Crisis Response Team. The incident with Hughes comes a few days after Buffalo Bills' Damar Hamlin suffered a cardiac arrest and collapsed on the field after taking a hard tackle to his chest, which garnered national media attention. Hamlin received CPR for 10 minutes and appeared to be given oxygen before he was transported to the hospital in critical condition. On Friday, the Buffalo Bills announced that Hamlin was now breathing on his own and has been able to speak to his family. The team said he continues to progress remarkably in his recovery and noted that his neurological function remains intact. Unfortunately, this young lady did not make it. It's very sad, and it's honestly just kind of like a sign of things to keep coming. I would say it's a sign of things to come, but it's not a sign of things to come. It's a sign of things that are already happening that really aren't being told. 16 years old, this poor young woman should have not lost her life playing a flag football game, but this is the kind of world we live in now. This is the kind of world we live in when anybody exerts a little bit more force than usual, that you have to worry if they're going to need some kind of medical attention or if they are going to just cease to exist, because I just can't believe that these stories, the amount of died suddenly cases, are not waking more people up, and that this is being seen as like something I'm doing right now. Me reporting on this is going to be seen as an act of hate, act of violence, insensitive to this situation. But I'm not being insensitive to this situation. If anything, I'm trying to tell people and show that her death is being done by the satanic psychopaths in charge, by pushing these shots on young people, not just on young people, but now they're pushing it on infants. They're pushing it on babies. Like, this shot is just going to, like, I wonder when they're going to stop this agenda. How many people have to die? How many millions and millions of people in the population, or billions of people in the population, have to die before they finally just stop with this narrative that comes with the poison death shot that they're trying to roll out on people? Because it doesn't stop transmission, it doesn't help with immunity, it doesn't help you get over the virus faster. I personally know a family member who had the you know what, and he is older. He's probably in his early 70s. So he contracted the thing that's going around, and he's had it before, but he got it again after multiple boosters. Still managed to get it, and he reported to our other family members that he had gotten over it pretty quickly, within like 3 or 4 days. And whenever I was sick a few videos ago, it took me about a week. It took me about a week and a half to finally just get rid of all the symptoms. But whenever he was going through his sickness, he was prescribed the oral medication that they tell you to take to help lessen symptoms. And his symptoms actually came back, and he's still dealing with the sickness. So someone who's probably triple, quadruple boosted and took the oral treatment that helps apparently fight off this disease is now dealing with this sickness a lot longer than people like me that have natural immunity and have already gotten over it and have felt fine. Now I feel great, and in my mind I feel okay about the situation because I'm likely not going to get it again. And whatever your beliefs are on the whole germ theory, and it's a debate for a whole nother video, a whole nother time. But the fact of the matter is that people that have their natural immunity intact and haven't taken these death shots that actually erase your immunity and put you on a dependency of treatments, whether injecting or orally, they're starting to really wane in all types of immunity. Their sicknesses are just getting astronomically bad. So it's something to consider. This isn't to be like, look, there's another, like, to point this out and flaunt this death as something that should be like, I told you so. Like, this is not what this is. It's never about I told you so. It's just about a warning to others that maybe haven't taken it, maybe are on the fence of taking it, and other people that you know are getting ready to take more of them. Do your best. I know the ridicule is hard, and it's hard because whenever you present the truth to people, they don't want to hear it. It's a lot more convenient for people to just live their lives and do the easy thing, like take the solution. In this case, you got to do what you can. You got to do your due diligence. It may seem like it's falling on deaf ears. It may seem like the mountain is insurmountable, like you can't get past it, and you can't convince people that what is really going on is the depopulation agenda of all humanity. You could at least say your piece. That way, if anything does happen, you can't say you didn't try, because we're in the last days, guys. Like, I don't know if we're in the book of Revelation yet, but we are approaching those days, and it might as well be the last days. Things are going to get worse, of course. Things are going to get much worse. Right now, this is just child's play, what's happening all around us. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. We are approaching the last days, and I got a feeling that things are coming in quicker and quicker fashion. And I think that the agenda for 2025, which is actually a big number for them, it's a big year for them, 2025, because they want to have everybody lethally injected by then. They want to have the population ready to be hooked up to the CBDC and digital ID system. They want all their plans to be ready for when 2030 gets here, because 2030 is when they want to have all the smart cities, the tech that's inside of your body. They want to have the full surveillance, full monitoring system in place by 2030. So really, they're trying to have all these shots, all these digital currencies, and all of this surveillance systems put into place by 2025 so they can perfect it by 2030. If you think I'm lying, just look it up. Just do your own research. I'll probably put something down in the description for Agenda 2030, but they are literally agendas by the World Economic Forum and by other organizations that are not fighting for the best interest of humanity. So just something to think about. All these death shots are being put out to be a control mechanism and to set up for the year 2025 to move everybody into their 2030 agenda. All right, so last thing I wanted to do on my last video, I didn't get to say this verse that I wanted to get to, and this verse is about discipline. And we as a society have lost a lot of discipline, and we've lost a lot of instruction, so I thought it might be good to touch on this verse. So the verse is from Proverbs chapter 12, verse 1. Whoso loveth instruction loveth knowledge, but he that hateth reproof is brutish. What this verse is saying to me is that if you love the instructions that God has given us, the 10 Commandments, the spiritual lessons that Jesus taught us while he was here, if you love this knowledge, then you're going to be not only disciplined in your way of living, but your soul and your spirit is going to be ready to fight off whatever evil is coming into this world, or at least resist the evil, that you could be marked as one of the saved souls in this end time. Whenever people have knowledge that they are more disciplined and grounded in their approach in life, like they don't want to go out and just have meaningless sex, drink, do drugs, run amok, go around bullying people or causing havoc in their communities. When people love knowledge and they love instruction, they tend to have more of a grounded approach in their way of living, and a more God-centered approach, a more God-centered way of dealing with situations. People who write off God and use the satanic system and love the satanic system, of course, they hate discipline. They don't want to be told, and going against authority and going against discipline are two different things. They're not the same thing. So whenever you're going against authority, if it's a tyrannical authority, if it's an authority run by Satan, then you are encouraged to stand up and speak out against it. That's not something God is telling you to stop from doing. He's not telling you, hey, don't go out and speak out against this satanic system that's being put into place. However, what he is telling you to do is to be humble and always call in his name, and don't cause harm. Don't bring any more havoc to any of these situations. To stay grounded, stay disciplined, and wait out the storm, because we know the storm is coming. And the people that don't love discipline, they're not going against authority, because they are following the authority. It almost seems like people that are thinking that they're some kind of, like, especially like a liberal, we'll use that as the best term we can come up with. Somebody who's liberal thinks that they're fighting a system, thinking that they're fighting against white supremacy, or that they're fighting against some kind of racist system, or they're fighting against all different kinds of things, when really they're fighting against the wrong thing. They're not fighting against the medical system. They're not fighting against this whole indoctrination of everybody's hateful and bigoted. They instead want to lead people to think that God's instruction is bigoted. Like, God's word is the one that is racist. God's word is the one that's going to lead us to hate each other and divide each other, when it couldn't be more farther from the truth. So that's just something to think about. Be on your best behavior and stay vigilant. Stay vigilant of what is going on in the world, because the world is definitely changing, and it is changing quickly. So before you know it, we will be in 2025. Before you know it, we'll be getting ready to see this whole plan really in motion. Like, we see the plan in motion in subtle ways, in ways that are still largely controlled by the mainstream media that feeds us. But we will actually see it in our day-to-day lives. When you go out to the store, people pass out. When you go to the gas station and fill up your car, somebody gets in a car accident. I mean, this stuff is just going to happen all around us. So stay vigilant, please. Watch each other's backs. Pray for each other. Let's stay on the ball when it comes to catching this information and really dissecting this information, because if we don't, then we're going to be going into this blindly. We have been given this information that sometimes pops up in the news, and we are able to use it to our benefit to try and wake up more lost souls along the way. Be sure to take care of one another. Love each other. I love you all, and I appreciate everybody who comes by and watches my videos, and hopefully they help you understand that you're not the only one that's trying to seek this truth or live out the laws that God gave us. As we go on into this new year, let's grow together. Let's keep moving forward and not be afraid to say, hey, this is wrong. Stand up and speak out against the satanic system. Anybody who's new here, if you like this content, go ahead and subscribe. I try and come out with a couple of videos every week, and I will do my best to give out the most honest and thorough information I can about these stories that I bring to you. And I will always speak the truth. I'll never be brought out to follow this satanic system. I just can't do it to myself. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get off this video. Hope you guys come back and watch some more, and I can help you guys. Maybe we can work together to find out what the real plan here is. As always, keep looking after each other, keep praying for each other, and go in peace.